Hey, welcome back, guys. So far in Raising Kanan Season 3, we're witnessing Kanan coming to his own of sorts and starting to develop his own new way to get money outside of dependency on his mother, his uncles, or anyone else for that matter. His latest hustle has him going into business with a man named Paul and supplying him with product in exchange for delivery drivers, or couriers as we come to know. But there's something very interesting about this system that we've seen in other iterations of Power. And in today's video, we'll break down just where the courier system came from and how it translated from Kanan into his most famed, treacherous, and legendary understudy, the Ghost Man himself. Before we begin, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and bell notification to immediately receive these videos. Also, big thank you to all of my channel donors. If you'd like to be the next one, drop $1 on that Cash App for us. And lastly, a spoiler alert is now in effect for all things Power. Here we go. So just to quickly recap, in episode 2, we witnessed Kanan come into contact with the aforementioned Paul, who had a unique method to get drugs out while simultaneously keeping his own hands clean. This man was using boys from his neighborhood in order to travel to all 5 boroughs and deliver product in exchange for a small cash fee for a few hours of work. Kanan noticed this and began to wisely pick the man's brain and delve into how his system worked in full. Not so he can be one of his employees, but so he can see how just to add on to this system and place himself in the driver's seat going forward. Then, in a later scene, we see Kanan officially proposition Paul on a way for them to merge their resources in the interest of a greater bottom line. Through Semrad, Kanan has a connect on weed, and Paul has delivery drivers. By merging the two, Kanan propositions Paul to use the drivers to deliver the product while paying Paul a small fee and paying the drivers not just for a few hours of work, but for what essentially would be a day's work, i.e. trading in 1 hour for 5 or more, likely 8. But just where have we seen this courier system before? In watching this episode, it dawned on me that the Ghost Man himself, way back in OG Power Episode 1, utilized this system in his flourishing drug business. The only difference being, instead of boys on bikes, he used adults in cars. Because he was Lobos' distribution network, he and Tommy had access to the product. And with that access, they refined and sophisticated Kanan's foundational techniques, using the drivers to make deliveries all over the city and in all 5 boroughs, as witnessed in the pilot episode, where we see Ghost and Tommy's couriers in places like Manhattan and Brooklyn, catering not only to the blue collar, but to the white collar as well. Those with big dollars to spend on product in large amounts. In OG Power Episode 202, in fact, Tommy makes a subtle reference to Ghost's implementation of Kanan's foundational system, saying that, quote, "Ghost ain't never had a good idea that he didn't steal from you. The couriers were just one of many ideas that the Ghost Man got from his mentor. And it makes all the more sense that the original problem in Power was that the courier system was being hit. And who was it being hit by? The person who created it, the person who founded it, and the person who basically revolutionized it so that a young Ghost would take it, build upon it, and make it even more sophisticated than before. Then when he turned on his mentor would get him back by doing what? Sabotaging the very system that he introduced him to." With these realities in mind, and the context of it now laid out before us, you really can't blame Kanan for a lot of the moves he made back in OG Power, prior to him and Ghost reconciling before his untimely demise. Kanan, in many respects, was justified in his behavior towards his former understudy, because how dare you? And even though we love the Ghost Man over here at this channel, and I mean, we love the Ghost Man, we can't disregard the fact that Ghost was bogus, and a lot of the things that he did affected the people that loved him at that current time. But thankfully, Raising Kanan is putting things in perspective that we can trace back to the original Power series, and it's providing a new life based on that new information. And with all that in mind, what are your thoughts on all of this? What parallels do you see between a young Kanan's courier system and that of Ghost? Be sure to drop me your opinions in the comments below. As always, I thank you for watching today's video. If you liked today's video, go ahead and drop $1 on that Cash App for us, hit the like button, share it with your friends who are Power fans, and subscribe for more content such as this. This is Rudy P. Magic of Rudy P. Magic Beats, and have a blessed one until the next one. Peace, y'all.